Hello, world. It is your girl, Levina J, and you are back for another episode of the Just Levina podcast. Today, I have a special guest. His name is Chris Hollis. Chris, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
Chris Hollis, man, I'm from Pasadena, California. Personal trainer, man, work in the sports entertainment industry. Pasadena City College, everything Pasadena. Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. I love it. It's nice to always meet people who know what it's like to be from here, who aren't, because, like, I'm a transplant. Whatever, I'll say it with dignity. I'm a transplant, and that is okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's really dope to have like people who like know the state and the city and can really give insight in it to us. I think that's dope. Well, of course, today you guys are in for a great show. The first thing I'm going to do is tell you guys the holiday for today. I'm going to tell you the national holiday. So today is National Be the Impact Day. And that was super, super special to me when I was reading about it because I don't think often enough we actually try to make an impact in the community, whether it's because, we're busy, we got work, we got families, whatever it is. I always feel like there's like something more that we can do. And today is the day for that. So the explanation for it is the International Executive Director of Pure International Pageants founded this day, and it's to set aside for individuals to do something good in their community, to make a difference however you want. So it could be volunteering, it could be signing a petition, anything you could do with gratitude to make the world a better place that is in observance today. So if there's anything you could do and you still got time, I know there's other people on the other side of the world watching, so you still have daylight hours as opposed to us. We no longer have that for today, but you can make a great, great impact and save it to your calendar. National Impact Day. Okay. Um, so now to switch gears, I was reading, and in the news, there was a man in Oklahoma City who was accused for purposefully spreading HIV. And he found out that he had it in 2019, and he proceeded to spread this disease, unfortunately, to many women in the area. So I wanted to know what you thought about that, and as somebody who's like health and fitness, why do you feel like it's important for us to like keep ourselves healthy and safe?
Man, first I feel that selfish. Like if you know you have a disease, especially something that's deadly like that, and that's just life changing. Like you gotta be respectful and responsible.
Yes.
Yeah. So
No,
yeah,
no bueno.
yeah.
I definitely agree. I feel like anybody who would make that decision, I I'm not gonna say it's justified, but I do understand that he probably did it out of a place of hurt. Like he felt like his life potentially is over. And so that was the way that he decided kind of like to get vengeance on the world, so to speak. I don't think it's right, but I do feel like I understand why he would feel the need to do that. But I think as a community, I don't know if we all take health as seriously as we should. Like, I even feel like sometimes you get older and you be like, I don't want to go to the doctor. Like, as a kid, it's like kind of fun. You'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
lollipop, I'm gonna get a little toy, I'm gonna get something.
Yeah.
But as an adult, you're like, yo, what y'all about to tell me? Y'all trying to take my money? You want me to come back 5 times? Like, no. So it is unfortunate. The situation is unfortunate, but I wanted to bring it up to raise awareness on the fact that you guys, your health is important, your life is important. And every time that you decide that you're going to share yourself with another person, you have to understand that it is a risk, especially if it's not someone who you've been like in a long-term relationship where you're having conversations about status and health and things like that. So when you're not doing that, you have to look up for number one, and that's you. So I hope you guys hear me on that.
For sure.
But
For sure.
okay, so Chris, I'm gonna call you a health extraordinaire because when I tell y'all this workout that Chris, took me on. And it was shout out to TK because it was through
Shout out.
TK who did this women's event and got all these women together and we did a hike. And it was just really, really amazing, especially here in LA to have something like that to connect with people was really dope. But Chris had me about to die. Like I was going up this mountain, y'all, struggling. I was able to pace myself, but look,
You made it to the top.
I made
She
it.
made it to the top.
I made it. I made it up and all the way back down. But for anybody who's looking, what do you feel like is the first step to a healthy lifestyle journey?
Man, honestly, it's discipline and consistency. But I mean, to build discipline and consistency, I feel is you gotta have a urge to want
Mhm.
something. You know, people a lot of times when I'm training, I have clients, they come to me and it's like they're looking for a change.
Mhm.
So whether that's a small change or whether it's a big change, you
Mhm.
know, um, yeah, you just got to be different type of consistent. You got to want something um, out of life, you know, because fitness is a journey, just how life is a journey. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So you feel like you have to decide in yourself first that you're gonna do, because we coming up on the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
If anybody's like me, y'all about to be eating all the snacks and all the food because that is what happens in this time. But I feel like we get to the end of the year and you already know what's the slogan. What's the slogan on the new year, Chris?
New year, new me.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay. So new year,
Yeah,
new
new
me.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like we need to do now to
Oh, yeah.
prepare for that?
Oh, you got to start now. It's no new year, new me. It's a new you right now. You got to get to it
I
right now.
love
Yeah,
that.
you have to. I mean, yeah, just if you got to think about it, if you start right now on your fitness journey on that January 1st, that January 2nd, you're gonna be ahead of a whole lot of people, or not even just other people. If you're not competing with nobody, you're competing with yourself. So it's like
Yeah.
you feel better. You look in the mirror, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do this right now instead of waiting. Because if you say you're gonna do it January 1st, then it's February 1st, then it's March 1st, and you just keep
Yes.
going like that. So
I agree.
yeah.
I think that's good advice. I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all taking notes because I'm not a personal trainer. I don't know when y'all going. I don't know when y'all are gonna get this advice again. So I'm not sure. But what do you think about having an accountability partner? Do you feel like it's necessary to have one? Do you feel like you just need the discipline?
No, accountability partner for sure is necessary. I mean, I have one for myself. You know, because I think a lot of trainers can say this, like when you're training people a lot, it's like, dang, when do I have time to, work out and
Mm.
like, take care of my own health. So it's like
Mhm.
having that accountability partner, which is other trainers like that I get trained by multiple people and that pushing me because I know how to push other people and I know how to push myself. But it's always different when you have somebody else pushing you. It's like you can take your body to that next level.
So we never really get away from needing somebody else.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you always need an accountability partner, in my opinion.
I love it. I think that's dope. So I sent you this video, and in the video, it was Charleston White, and I'm sure you've heard many controversial things that he said. Like this man, he be going in on these rappers. He is a bona fide, certified, self-proclaimed snitch. This is how he lives his life. Like he don't care. But in this video, he was talking about men going to jail for their friends. Like if their friend commits this crime or does something, them taking the L and go ahead and take the bid. What do you think? Do you think a friend should do that? Do you feel like they should hold them accountable? What do you think?
It depends on the circumstance. Like I'm not gonna like say me and you've been rocking since we was kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna and we both say we rob a house.
Okay.
Okay, we go just gonna take it straight
Hit that
like
lick.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
you gonna hit a lick. Yeah, I ain't know if we just that type of podcast, but but yeah, so we hit a lick, and I know you since 10 years old, and we both decided to hit that lick, and then I end up getting caught, but you end up running. You end up. I'm not about to be like, oh, I was with Levina, like, and no, you can't do that. Can't do that. It's no honor, it's no respect in that at all. In my opinion. So
Okay.
I know a lot of people see it like that as well.
Okay, so what if it's just you happen to be there, I end up committing a crime?
But I get caught for it. Let's
Yeah.
say,
Do you still?
and I'm not even aware of none that happened in
Yeah.
the
Do
situation.
you still take the L?
You, man, you gotta chalk it up. Yeah, you gotta chalk it up. I know a few people that have been in a situation like that, and yeah, I mean they done chalked it up, and they doing time for that. But it's like,
Man,
yeah, I mean come with, if you gonna be around that type of environment, you gotta be prepared to what come with that for sure.
I do think that's true. I definitely feel like consequences and repercussions to every decision in life. So if you are about that life, then I do think you got to be about that life. But I don't think it's fair for people to assume, like, because that's also what he was talking about. He was just making these examples, like, because some people will be like, hey, we did it, but like, I got a family. I want to be here for my family. Can you just take that L? And I'm like, but is that fair? Like, yes, you have a family, but that person is now sacrificing their ability to have a family because it's not like you just all the time. If you have like a community or you're a part of another community where people gonna have your back while you're in there, and when you get home, that's different. But if you don't, you're literally sacrificing your opportunity at the life that you potentially want to protect somebody that you love. I just don't think that that's a fair ask.
Not 100%. I feel like the person that committed the crime, and they know they in the wrong, and somebody else taking the fall for it, they should stand up. But that's not on me. I'm not gonna rat nobody else out.
Right.
I'm gonna just hope that person got some honor, in their spirit, and they stand up, for my situation. But if they don't, then they just as bad as a snitch in my opinion.
Dang.
So
Okay. That's a good perspective, because let me tell you, when I heard it, I was like, I don't know. I might have to tell. I don't know, because I don't know that I was built for prison. I just,
yeah,
listen,
it's,
there was this question on TikTok not long ago, and there was like, what is something that you wouldn't do, even if there was like $1 million billion on the line? And I was like, anything illegal, because I cannot go to prison. Like, I can't fathom it in my mind, like me with some cornrows, like, just unkept,
Ooh.
no makeup, no struggle.
Your queen Latifah, huh?
Look,
Said it all.
just set it off. It'll be crazy.
Oh
I
man.
cannot do it. But I do think that that's a good perspective to have, because that everybody doesn't have the same type of honor and loyalty. So I think that's good. So since we talking about going to jail and prison, I can only imagine that comes with tears. So is it acceptable, and when is it acceptable for a man to cry?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely acceptable for a man to cry. I think it depends on how you was raised, the environment you was raised in. I think being, speaking from my perspective as a young black male, of course, it's not. It ain't no room or no grace to shed tears.
Mm.
I think, from my perspective, but I think once you live life more, and life start happening to you, you gonna cry. You're not a living soul if you ain't shed no tears.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, but nah, it's for sure acceptable for men to cry. Yeah.
Okay, so you said as a young black man, which I agree with, because I don't think a lot of black men do feel like there is grace for them to be able to show that emotion
Yeah,
up
for sure.
front. When do you think it would be acceptable? Like, if it was somebody like you and they were like, man, this young black man, they're just dealing with a situation, when would you say it is acceptable for them to cry?
I think like funerals, loss, when you losing a loved one, I think that's, in my experience, the only time is not being frowned upon is when you lose somebody. People expect you to cry, it's you going through pain, but it's other stuff that make you want to cry though too, in this
All
life.
the
So
time.
yeah, but sometimes you gotta suck them tears up,
You gotta man up.
take it to the chest, yeah, for sure, just yeah. And I think you should, but it might be you. Not no man should be like really just boo-hooing and like I ain't really like I don't. I just wasn't raised like that. I never seen a lot of men like just boo-hooing over situations. I think it's always you got to turn into that fix-it mode or that like that that champion mindset to where like okay, it's I gotta overcome this. You make it feel sad for about 30 minutes to an hour, but you got to pick yourself up. That's just I think that's the environment I came from. So
I get it. Let me tell y'all, I be crying. I be trying to control my tears now. I don't, and you know what's funny about it is I didn't really start acting like that until I started going to therapy. Because I experienced a lot of stuff in my life. Was like just being transparent, like sexual assault, abuse, like things where I feel like it's completely justified for tears to be shed. But something that I realized in therapy was that people had this expectation of me, and specifically people who knew my story, to be strong. So then I felt like in all situations, even if something was making me emotional, then I had to like be strong. And I couldn't show that I was emotional, or I couldn't say that I was emotional. And then so I would use this phrase like, I'm trying not to get emotional right now. And that was my way of like creating a block so I don't have to experience that in that moment. And now after going to therapy, I've had to adjust that. And so now I say, I am getting emotional right now. Like right now in this moment, I am getting emotional, and I might tear up and then express. But I do think it's like where you grow up. But I think we have to learn how to give people grace to feel their feelings, and whatever happens, especially Black men. Like I feel like if there's anybody who has it the worst, I feel like it's y'all. I feel like it's Black men that don't get the opportunity and the same amount of grace to, when life really comes for them, have that experience.
yeah, for sure. And just to even go off of that, I think that's why you see a lot of like Black men, and I want to say anger management, but we take our anger out in a lot of different ways, because we know crying is a release, it's a form of release. You feel relaxed after in the sit. You like that. I just got that off my chest. I myself, I've been in therapy, so I know that did wonders for me. It wasn't something like magical, nothing like that. They just brought stuff out of me that was already there. Yeah, so I agree with you saying. Sure.
Yeah. I think it's something to think about. Okay, so we're gonna switch gears before I end up crying. I'm be crying on this camera, y'all. Jesus.
Deep.
Okay, so at what age do you feel like being for the streets is like over? Like you too old, you can't do it, your time has come and gone, you can no longer be in these streets. When is that?
Man, I don't know. 'Cause I know some people that like 30, 37, 38, almost 40, still in the streets. But for me, man, I think probably like 32, 31. I'm 29, so I got
So you
like
ain't got that much
yeah,
time. You got
that's why I'm going hard right now.
you got a couple
But
years left.
yeah,
Why 31, 32?
for me, I just that's when I see myself, settling down in the family, but I think I'm already I've been phased out almost to be real, just because you can't just at 31 be like I'm gonna flip that switch. And I think you get preparation, you gotta prepare yourself for that. So I think that's where I'm at right now in the process of preparing myself. Yeah.
Okay, so 31, 32 for you. What about women? Is it the
Women,
same age?
or
Or
they too? I think I see a lot of women. Well, shit, you don't know now. It's the Instagram and all this. It's a lot of options. So people just yeah.
is it really options, or does social media make it seem like it's options?
Make it seem
Because
that's the right word. It's smoke and mirrors. It make it seem like it's a lot of options. Yeah, but those options ain't really quality options.
at all, and then people be wondering why. I be so confused. I'm gonna tell you, I think I feel like being for the streets for a woman is over by 25. I'll say by 25, you gotta wrap it up. It's only because the value. So let's say you're older than 25, but you're a virgin. Okay.
older than
But if
25.
you 25 and you've been catching bodies and now the years are progressing and you still catching bodies and you think coming up soon you still gonna find a husband that or whoever a partner who is gonna understand the type of life you was living and not feel a way about it, because I could be wrong and you can tell me, but I feel like men, if a woman said I got 75 bodies,
75. Yep, yeah.
you would feel some type of
Oh
way.
yeah.
But if
Oh
a
yeah.
dude said, like, if your boy was like, "Hey, Chris, I got 75 bodies,"
That's that's normal. Like
see,
that is normal for dudes. But yeah, 75 when it comes to a woman, you kind of gonna go the other way. You like, damn, like, you up there with me. So you might be thinking like me. Yeah.
different. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like you got to wrap it up a little bit earlier as a woman, if that's the life that you want. If you're like, I want a one partner for the rest of my life, and this is how I want to live, then yeah. But if you don't, baby, live your life. Live it however you want to. This is my opinion. You ain't got to take nothing from me. What do I know? I'm just Levina. Like what? I don't know. Um okay, so what do you feel like is the difference between having standards and having trust issues?
Mm. The difference between that, having standards, having trust is that's a good one. I think standards is another word for respect for yourself. You just having respect for yourself. Like I'm not tolerating this. I'm not going for that. You're not gonna disrespect me. You're not gonna treat me any kind of way. I think trust issues is more like kind of like stuff you kind of almost making up in your head, or you be bringing baggage from something in the past to something new. So I think that's the difference, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, like past traumas.
Hmm.
I could
Yeah.
see that because I do think that, first of all, I think it's important to have standards.
Oh
Let me
yeah,
just put that out there. Like, you
for sure.
gotta have a standard.
Yeah.
I think I said this last week. If you stand for nothing, you're gonna fall for
Oh
anything.
yeah.
And so you gotta have standards for your life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for other people. Cause I think that's where the line gets blurry when we say like trust issues and standards, is when you start trying to institute those things for other people. And it's like some people just don't believe the same way that you believe or
Yeah,
think the same way that you think.
that's
So
real.
you can be like, I would never do this. And somebody be like, man, I do that all the time.
Yeah,
That's
no, that's real. I think when it comes to relationships like that, you have to, like, a lot of people get in relationships and they try to change somebody, but it's like you really
mm,
gotta get with somebody that's thinking like you, that got the same morals, same principles, on the same wavelength. Because if not, you're not changing nobody, especially when you get to late 20s, 30s. It ain't.
yeah,
Yeah.
the energy definitely has to match. Definitely has to match. I think where trust issues comes into play is where, like you said, it's something that you're creating in your mind. But I think it's also an assumption. Like, you just assuming. So not only do you think this is happening, now you're assuming. I know you doing something. I know you doing this. I know you're doing that. You're like, yo, you got no proof. You
Yeah,
don't even. What
exactly.
are you talking about?
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
I think that's good.
yeah.
I think the lines do get blurry when you don't have that reciprocated energy. So I agree with that. Okay, so we was talking about the 75 bodies.
Mm.
What is one thing that if a woman does, you're immediately turned off? You're like, nope, can't do it, can't rock with it.
Ooh, dang.
He's like,
Ooh, I'm trying to
you
think
and
something
these
censored.
questions.
No, something censored.
No,
Nah,
whatever you feel,
100%.
whatever you feel.
Man, I think one thing that turned me off to I was having sex with one girl, man. She farted like just it was loud. That shit was like that shit was, yeah. But it was like, that's human anatomy. So I'm like, you know, she probably
Did
just
you stop?
huh?
Did you stop?
I ain't stopped. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't stopped. I just like, damn, like, yeah. But outside of that, what was the question again? That
What is
turn off.
one thing that a girl can do that
Yeah,
immediately turns you
turn
off?
it off. Now, on a serious note, I think really just like attitude. I don't like somebody that think they too good.
Hmm.
So like if I my a situation like my family from the south, southern hospitality, southern people. So
Mm-hmm.
if LA, you get a lot of people that want everything got to be Instagram, everything got to you got to be
Yes.
posted, and you got to be in this nice environment, stuff like that. Yeah, I need somebody that's like, get dirty a little bit, that's authentic, that's real, that can,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like those are the best moments. Like,
Mhm.
especially with Thanksgiving coming up, like
Exactly.
the stuff that's not posted, like, Black families, you cooking Wednesday. Wednesday is when all the cooking starts taking place. That's when the music is blasting, everything is starting. And I feel like those are the best moments. And I wish that we, just as a generation, did that more with each other, because I feel like people will have more genuine relationships, like platonically and
Yeah, for sure.
relationally, like if people just experience things. Like, I was talking to a friend because we went out, and I really don't go out that much. Like, I really, really don't. It has to be something like that I really want to do for me to do it. But we were out and we was like, yo, like we listen to music. Why everybody got their phone out? Like,
Yeah, for real.
nobody's dancing. Like, nobody's.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even experiencing it. You're just recording it to say that you were there.
Yeah.
But you didn't have the experience. Like, if
Yeah.
somebody said, "Oh, what was your favorite moment that happened?" You couldn't remember.
Nah. It looked dope on Instagram.
Right.
Everybody comment on your story and stuff, but
Yes.
you ain't got no real life memory. Yeah.
That's facts. I can definitely feel that because I agree with you. I think for men, the biggest turnoff that I have ever experienced is somebody just saying they love you out of the gate.
Ooh,
Like 2 weeks in.
what they call a red flag.
Yes, that is like woo woo, like
Yeah.
super red flag. But I was dating a guy before, and it was like 2 weeks we were dating. And he was like, "Oh, we should move in together. Like, I'm in love." And I was like, "Sir, what? I haven't even no, you're out of control." So I think that's definitely, if there is a turn off, it is that, like, trying to move super duper fast.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like you're trying to, there's something unknown, something beneath the surface. I
For
don't
sure.
know.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
No, I agree. I agree with that one. That's probably my second.
So I feel like I love
Yeah,
you.
That's
What?
that's giving you might be kind of crazy a little bit.
A little bit, a lot of bit. You definitely, it's some screws loose if that's happening. It's not that. I feel like you can genuinely enjoy somebody in a short amount of time and know that you want to spend more time with them. Like, oh, I'm having this conversation with you. I'm really liking this vibe. Like, yeah, I can do this. But no deciding factors. Like, nobody has to bang the gavel and be like, this is it. But yeah, I think that's something. So with that, do you think that there's, let's say you're interested in multiple people, is there something that one woman could do to put herself over the other one? Like, can another woman make you choose her over another one?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's competition. Yeah, for sure. I think for me, just being like, I'm like I said, I'm going back to family. That's what make me like commit to a woman, is how I see you with my family, how I see you with your family. Like, so if I see you, you showing love to my family, or you being thoughtful, just like real good hearted, genuine stuff, I'm a for sure like, okay, I see you actually putting that effort, you actually care. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you just trying to, you always just want to come to the crib, you want to kick, you just want to go out on, go to dinner or something like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if that's all you trying to do, you ain't never asking about, other people in my life. Sure.
Okay. I actually never thought, I honestly thought the answer to that was no. Like, I thought there's no way that a woman could get a man to choose her over another woman, because I always felt like it was like this internal decision.
I mean, that is a part of it too. I mean, one at first, I mean, it won't even get to that point if it ain't something that's internal. I gotta be physically attracted to you. The vibe gotta be on point. It gotta be like just an unspoken thing. I think that's the biggest thing. You know how sometimes you kick with somebody, it's just like a vibe. It's like, damn, like it's that familiar, being familiar with the person, but it's
Yes.
like damn, like I'm rocking with you for real.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we thinking the same, we moving the same. It's like, yeah.
I agree because I think that's how friendships get cultivated too.
Mm-hmm.
Like when
Yeah.
you can really talk to somebody and it just feels like organic and natural, and you're like,
Yeah.
yo, I could just really talk to you, and
Yeah.
there's no pressure. Even what I would say could put somebody above another person in a relationship is silence.
So,
Like if I can just sit with you in silence and
okay.
it's not weird and it's not
Yeah.
like you're
That's
trying
true.
to force something to happen. Like there's
Yeah.
just that, you ever been with somebody and it's just like it's dead space, but it's not awkward. It's just
Yeah.
like, we just kind of
Yeah.
chilling. Like this is just what's happening right now. And nobody
Yeah.
feels like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Or are we supposed to be talking about?
Yeah.
But if there can be silence and there's no awkwardness, I
Mm,
think that that is probably the greatest thing somebody could do.
yeah. Yeah, because that's real. I ain't never even really think about it like that. Because I think that that dead space, the awkward silence, really lets you, because you're not speaking. So it's like I'm spiritual. Y'all spirit is really speaking,
Yes.
and it's gonna let you know, like nah, we ain't
Yes.
clicking. Because it's been that time where I've been with women. It's been like a awkward silence. I'm like nah, this ain't really it. But there's been times where I'm like, damn, okay, I am. Like we driving, we ain't saying nothing,
We
but
chilling, we
listen to
vibing.
music. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe a song comes on, we
Mhm.
know the words. Like, cause
Yeah,
I love a good throwback. Like 90s hip hop and R&B
yeah,
is always for me. I keep it on a
yeah,
playlist
for sure.
constantly running. So if you could do that, I feel like that
Mm,
puts people like that's like chef's
yeah,
kiss.
yeah, for sure. I agree. I agree. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so last question. How and what is the best way to approach somebody if you're interested in them, virtually or in person? Because people do a lot of like internet dating and stuff
Yeah, and
now.
stuff.
But
Yeah.
what do you feel like is the best way to approach somebody?
If I'm interested in, for
Hmm.
sure in person, because it's been times I done slid in DM and thought I was interested in something, and then we meet up and I'm like, damn, I ain't even. I was like, I was like, damn, I should never sit that shit. But no, for real. Let's be honest. Just be
No,
honest.
that's facts.
Yeah, but then in person, I think that's what I prefer. In person, I think I've made the best relationships when I met people just organically in person. They don't got my Instagram. They don't got no preconceived notions of me or anything like that. It's just straight off what you see. I think that's the best.
I think that's dope. And I agree. I think that people should do that more because that is the thing that gets me. Like I've talked to people in the past. They've been like, oh, I really want a relationship. And I'd be like, you don't go nowhere. They'd be like, I know, but you can find people. I'm like, no, but you don't go anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
how would you, if you, let's say you like to cook, maybe your person's at the grocery store. Maybe your
Yeah.
person is at a cooking class. Like, I I love wine. Maybe your person would be at a wine tasting. Like you have to
Yeah.
go do actual activities and experiences like we were talking about. I feel like to meet it's not that people haven't, cuz some people have and are married from meeting like virtually. So I'm not saying it's 100% bad, but I feel like what some people will call the old school way is still the best way
No, hundred
to meet
percent. Yeah,
anybody.
because like you said, if you like cooking and you go into a cooking class, you gonna meet somebody that's there probably doing the same things they like, doing what you like. That's how y'all find that, being similar, and then you never know what go from there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Chris, I feel like this time went
yeah.
by so
Nah, it did. It
fast.
did. One by five. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I feel like it was a really good conversation. Okay, so if there was one thing you had to tell everybody, like if there's one thing you take from this podcast, this is the thing that you take. You could tell everybody, what do you think they should take away?
Whew. Man, from the questions that just Lavinia asked, she asked some good questions. I think, man, from my perspective, one, don't snitch. Yeah, hold that honor, hold that code. I believe in that. And then when it come to dating and relationships, find somebody that's genuine, that's authentic, that you naturally vibe with, you know, because at the end of the day, that's, you know, all you got. Looks fade, social media gon' crash one day. You got to really be with a genuine, honest soul, you know, so you can, you know, be fruitful, multiply, you know.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. I love it. I agree. I agree. I think if there's one thing that you guys can take away, one thing that I love that Chris said was discipline, like, and having self discipline. Like, when you make a decision for yourself, I feel like those are the things that you stick with. Like, when you're like, hey, I'm doing this for me, not for nobody to see me, not for anybody to applaud me, but when there's no cameras around, this is what I'm doing. And so I think you guys, if there was one thing to take away from anything, it would be that. Um, Anyways, we are getting wrapped up here in the studio. Thank you, Chris, for an
Thank you.
amazing
Yeah,
podcast.
sure.
Thank you guys for joining me on all of these platforms. If you don't know where you're catching this or where to catch the podcast, you can find me at Just Levina on all platforms. That's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. Anywhere you put in Just Levina, you gonna see my face. It is what it is. But I'm so glad you guys took the time to join. I'm so glad that you guys joined in the chat and had something to say. Drop in the comments what your favorite topic was, because I want to hear it from you. But of course, you already know, you guys, I'm Just Levina. We'll see you later.